And stepping back to your question too, I think, talking about the agricultural lands and the farms, really all of us who you've seen speak have really focused on protecting the riparian corridor, which is the area that sits really next to the river. Kind of that stretch of land could be 50 to 100 feet right along the riverways.
Say that corridor again,
sure,
because this is a new term for me.
Absolutely. It's called the riparian corridor. And that's a really, really important area. The last 40 years of river ecology and biology has shown that area is incredibly important. It's very important to filter the water. It's very important for erosion, for preventing it.
On any river we're talking.
On any river, absolutely. And what we're finding is when farmers keep those riparian corridors set in place, it's helping significantly to make sure that their cropland isn't eroding away, that they're not losing cropland. And over time, of course, that is very economically, it's an economic benefit for farmers. So we don't think it's either or you have to do this and you're going to lose money. It's really actually showing just the opposite, that if you do implement these green practices, like Steve was saying earlier, that it's going to pay off in the long run for you individually and for the communities that live upstream and downstream.
Okay, let's get the tires out of the river because that looks bad, but everything else we can just take care of, in video we say, fix it in post. Well, we'll just fix it in treatment. How about that?
Well, there's along those lines, to build on what Kat was saying, there are things that we can do to help some of the issues that, for example, we're talking about the Merrimack. All the good conservation folks around at this table and from our state and federal agencies have been working on this river for a long time, and they have a good sense of what's ailing the river and how we can keep it, improve its health. Sediment is one of those big things, and that's one of those things that we can take care of by working with farm communities, doing good stream restoration practices that can help stabilize these areas where there's a problem with sediment. Again, that sediment gets filtered out, and then you pay for that in your water bill eventually downstream. So you can get good practices. Long term, there's nothing mythological about it. There are good practices out there. It's just a matter of building awareness like we're doing on the show today.
We've got the quantity. Won't that kind of fix a lot of the problems? Won't this wash away a lot of the issues that we're dealing with here? Can someone convince me that this?
I've got an amazing fact for you.
Okay.
We've got 45 years of a success story in the Merrimack River. But in 1988, there was, at the time, the governor sort of convened a stream team concept where stream teams around the state were formed. They formed 100 of those in 1988. Today, in the state of Missouri, there are 4,800 stream teams. There's no other state in the United States that has such a commitment by local residents, citizens, to form these stream teams to go clean up the streams and work on some of these riparian issues, because a lot of the problem has to do with trash and flooding and people throwing tires into that pollutes the streams, which ends up in our drinking water and has to be treated. So I think that's pretty amazing.
And treatment's expensive.
I just want to add to that real quick is that Merrimack River now is one fine example, but a plug for the River des Peres Watershed Coalition. We also have an annual cleanup.
That's going to be a big
And the
plug.
Confluence Greenway, where the great Mississippi and the Missouri. So it's just an opportunity for a lot of people to get involved with stream team organizations in the St. Louis area, and I think Holly knows about how many members there are already.
Yeah, there's about 24,000 members in the St. Louis region alone, so it's one of our largest regions of stream team participants.
Not everything's
really
doom and
exciting.
gloom, and we do have a success story here.
Is it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it shows that we have a lot of numbers, but we need a lot more. I mean, this is a conversation we're getting started, but we need farmers, we need businesses and industry, we need other water stakeholders, which we all are. We all need water. We need environmentalists and conservationists all coming together to have and continue this discussion, because it matters for our health, it matters for our economies, and it matters for our quality of life.
And
so
political leadership is really important.
Absolutely. We've got numbers, but
Strong
we need a lot
political
more.
leadership, because what really separates the United States really from developing countries and third world countries is the fact that we do take interest in water quality, and we're trying to reverse some of the problems of the past to make sure that we have safe drinking water.